Before the opening bell, U.S. indices closing lower on Wednesday, pressured by shares in consumer durables and apparel, retailing and material sectors. On the economic docket, mortgage applications fell by 7.1% in the week ended October 12 from a decline of 1.7% the previous week, all while housing starts fell by 5.3% month over month to 1.201 million units in September, while building permits slightly lowered to 1.241 million in September. Finally, the Federal Reserve releasing the minutes of the FOMC meeting that concluded on September 26. In order to keep inflation below the objective of 2%, participants agreed that it might be necessary to temporarily raise the federal funds rate above their assessments of its longer-run level. This all while decliners ahead of advancers, 58% of SP 500 constituents trading lower yesterday. Now, after the markets closed, Crown Castle reporting that third-quarter adjusted figures rose 31.1% year over year to $793 million on net revenue of $1.38 billion, while Kinder Morgan reported third-quarter adjusted EPS rising 40% year over year to 21 cents on revenue of $3.52 billion. Turning overseas, Asian markets losing ground today. The Nikkei down 0.8%, the Hang Seng down 0.03%. China's CSI 300 down 2.37%, while South Korea's Kospi down 0.89%. European markets mixed and U.S. futures calling for a negative start. Now, in terms of expectations today, BB&T Corporation third-quarter EPS seen at $1. Bank of New York Mellon third-quarter EPS seen at $1.04, while Dover Corporation third-quarter EPS seen at $1.28 on sales of approximately $1.8 billion, while American Express third-quarter EPS seen at $1.77. On the economic front, 8:30 in the morning, we have the October Philadelphia Fed Business Outlook and initial and continuing jobless claims figures, while 10 o'clock in the morning, we have September leading indicators. Now, over to the markets. The SP 500, that sees a consolidation in place, and that's in focus this morning. As long as 28.2475 is the resistance, look for choppy price action with a bearish bias. Indeed, the index capped by an intraday declining trend line and testing for the fifth time a rising trend line. Such high numbers of attempt increases the probability of a downside breakout, likely to trigger a corrective move. Short positions below 28.2475 are favored, with targets at 27.99 and 27.8475 in extension. The Nasdaq, meanwhile, that sees the consolidation in place, and the Dow Jones sees consolidation.